everyone, Mama Mikey here, and today is a quick video. These are my impressions of Yakuza 0 for the PS4. This is a fantastic game. I mentioned it in my What I'm Playing video for February 2017, and my goodness, this game is just fantastic. So starting off, this is my first Yakuza game, and it's the perfect place to start if you'd like to get into the series. Yakuza 0 puts you right where the story begins, and what a story it is. This game had its hooks in me within 30 minutes of starting it, and the intensity of the story only increased as the game progressed. The stakes just keep getting raised higher and higher in this game, and the characters that you play as are put in impossible situations, and the suspense and tension is almost too much during key story segments. I really had a sense of urgency while I played this game, like my own life and the lives of my friends were on the line. I got to know the characters so quickly, and even the villains were hard to dislike because they were just so rich with personality. The story is filled with twists and turns, and there is an overwhelming sense of danger as you play the game because you're dealing with the biggest crime lords in the city. The story of this game was so good that playing it for hours felt like only minutes had gone by. That sense of danger and that intensity just keeps going throughout the entire game, and it really does just get its hooks right in you. And it seems like you've only been playing a short time when you've been playing the whole afternoon. I'll note that as amazing as this story is, I could only play this game when I wasn't overly tired because the game is entirely subtitled, and I really enjoyed that. I loved the voice acting of this game, and it's the perfect way to experience this game by having it subtitled. But just be aware that if you're like me and you start to lose words as you read, the more tired that you get, this isn't the best game to play when you're really tired if you're like me. I didn't want to miss any of the story, so I only played this game when I was feeling alert and when I felt like I could do a fair amount of reading. You can do the side quests and things when you're tired because those have a lot less dialogue in them, but I do say if you don't want to miss a single detail of that main story, play this game when you're nice and alert and you won't miss any of that subtitled dialogue. Another great aspect of this game is that there are plenty of save points scattered around the city, and this is a game where they will give you a little hint of, are you sure you want to proceed, kind of telling you that this is your last chance to save before a big story segment, or even too, this is your last chance to pick up some health items at a local convenience store before the next key story segment. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it because again, if I started to feel tired, I could just find a save point and stop playing for the night, or save my big story mission for later and switch to doing some side missions around the city. Another great aspect of this game is that during certain story moments, you will switch to the other character. And when it does that, the game will give you a recap of what that other character was up to while you were playing all those other missions. This is extremely helpful. You'll really keep tabs on the story. You won't miss any details this way. Even though I played this game and I was absolutely engrossed in it, seeing the little recap really did help because I would say, oh yes, I forgot that that guy did that last time, or I forgot that that little detail happened. And the small details in this game really do matter. So it's really nice to have that recap each time that the game switches you to the other side of the narrative. It also helps you to remember your motivation for your current role in the story. During the game, you have these two separate narratives, and so you want to remember what you're fighting for on each side. And once again, just having those recaps reminds you of exactly what you're doing and even why you're doing it. This game has a great variety of ways that it presents the story to us. There are these really cool, slow-moving, almost comic book-like cutscenes, and those are just fantastic. I really enjoy those. You have a good amount of those in the beginning of the game. And then we have traditional cutscenes like we're used to seeing in most games. The variety of ways that the story is presented keeps it from getting stale, and it really does hold your interest longer than some other games do. Just the variety of ways that the story plays out and the way that they show it to you really does just hold your interest. Each character in the game has a business that you can oversee to make a lot of money. While you get a lot of money from fights on the street and from the missions that you do, you really can't have too much of it. And also too, those business management sides of the story are really cool. You have two completely different businesses that you'll be managing in this game, one for each character that you play as, and they are really engaging. Honestly, the business management could have been its own game. It's just so engrossing, and just having those two different business types really does keep your interest, and both of them are really deep, complex systems that I wasn't expecting at all. Easily just doing the business management could be 20 plus hours of gameplay. And there is an actual story to go with each business that you manage. So it's not just fetch quests or anything like that. It's not just that you're buying properties just to make money. There is a true story that goes with the business management portion of this game. And it's just one more fantastic thing about Yakuza 0. The setting of this game is one of the most enjoyable that I've ever explored in a game. I really felt like I was in Japan with all of the arcades and the street vendors selling piping hot food. And of course you've got payphones and pagers, all these things that make you feel like you really are in the 80s. Having never used a payphone before, it was a really cool thing to have in the game for key story segments of someone will get you on your pager and then you have to go call them from a payphone. It was really cool. It's something I've never experienced before, and it really did make me feel like I was back in the 80s. There is a fast travel taxi system that you can use to get around more quickly, and it costs very little money, so it's not like it's gonna, blow your budget. But it is one of those things that I didn't use very much because not only did I enjoy running around the city, but the city is compact enough that you can easily get to all of your locations on foot. You really don't have to use the taxi. It's not going to take you 10 minutes to get from one end of the city to the other. The city is full of life and it's very dense. It really is just packed with people and businesses and things to do, but it's not so huge that you can't traverse it on foot. And just speaking of how alive the city is, the sights and the sounds of the city at night, because with both main characters you can switch the game to play at night or during the evening, and it's just completely different from during the day when you see all the businessmen out, and then at night it's sort of the club and the restaurant scene, and it's really cool to have that completely different layer of the city. And also too, then all the businesses have the bright lights and everything, and there's music playing. It's just really cool, and there's just so much to do. In addition to the fantastic side quests, which offer a break from the main story, some of them are lighthearted, some of them are serious, but a good amount of them are very humorous, and I really enjoyed those. But in addition to all of those, which are very worth your time, there's just so many activities that you can do outside of the main story. You can go do karaoke, you can go to a disco, you can play mahjong or shogi, you can go bowling in this game, you can obviously go to the arcades as well, and those have multiple games to play in them. There's just so much to do. There's darts, there's just baseball batting cages. There's so much to do in this city. It feels like a real city that is alive and just packed with activities that you can do. And it really has that feeling of Grand Theft Auto where I feel like I could just play this game for hours, just playing mini games, just going around town, fighting bad guys, and playing mini games. It's got that Grand Theft Auto feeling of once the main story ends, I still want to hang out here. And there's plenty of time to do this. Once the main story has concluded, there's a mode you can play where you can go back and run around the city without anything to do with the main story. I really enjoy that aspect of it, and it's just a perfect way to mop up side quests or do all the activities that you missed out on. Like I said, this is a game I just want to hang out in because I just love the city that they've built here. There's also a new Game Plus mode, and a new difficulty will unlock after you've beat the game for the first time. The atmosphere of this game is enhanced by the excellent soundtrack. While walking through the city, you hear the people and the commotion of city life, but if you become engaged in a fight, music will play and it is perfectly fitting for the fight that you're in. It really sets the tone throughout the game, and the music during cutscenes and key story moments just really drives home whatever emotion you're supposed to feel. Whether it's dramatic, suspenseful, or heartwarming, the soundtrack of this game fits perfectly, and there's a very important scene at the end of the game that I will not spoil. But in that moment, the music is what really drives home the emotion of the scene. It's the music that truly makes that scene special and unique. It's one of the best cutscenes I've ever seen in a game, and the music is really what made it so impactful. And that is a scene that you have to watch past the credits to see. So just like a Marvel movie, just sit there, watch the credits. During the credits, you will be entertained. There is a little bit of an epilogue for each character, sort of telling you what they go on to do after this game ends. And then if you wait all the way past the credits, you'll have that amazing cutscene. And if you stick around for it, it's very worth your time. Those little epilogues really made me want to play more of the Yakuza games. It kind of reminded me how much I liked each character, and I really just do want to go back and see what everyone's up to in Kamurocho. In 31 hours, I had finished the main story and about 10 side missions. I still have so much left to do. I easily have 20 to 30 more hours of gameplay ahead of me, and I'm looking forward to every minute of it. There's just so much to do after this game is over. I could go bowling, go play darts, play a game of shogi, go play some mahjong, dancing, karaoke. The list goes on and on for all of the activities you can do in this game, and I really do see myself just popping it in like Grand Theft Auto, running around the city, fighting bad guys, and getting a bite to eat. So that was my impressions for Yakuza 0 for the PlayStation 4. Let me know in the comments below if you played this game and what you thought of it. I am just so excited now for the other Yakuza games that will be coming to America, and I will be looking for Yakuza 3 and Yakuza 4 because I thoroughly enjoyed this game, and I definitely planned on playing more of them. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Bye!